Students, today we are going to discuss about human resources management and our learning outcomes. At the end of this tutorial video, students will be able to comprehend and understand the major functions of human resources management. Students will be able to understand about how human resource needs to manage the people in the organization. And most especially, students will be able to appreciate the functions of human resources management, especially in the organization. Let us start. I have only one slide and welcome again to my YouTube channel. This is again Dr. Luisito P. Masanga at your service. I will explain this in layman's term that students will appreciate and give their enthusiasm understanding human resources management. First of all, human resources management is the management of the people, employee, labor in the corporate organization. So when we say manage, there is a basic function that human resource is going to implement. One function of management is planning, organizing, leading, and control. So these are the activities that human resources management has to do and has to implement in order for them to manage the employee. Now, I have a question. Why is it that human resources management needs to organize and manage the people? Let me explain that briefly. Among all the means or factor of production, land, labor, and capital, the most essential among the means of production is labor. Meaning to say, human resources management has the prime responsibility to manage the people in the organization because this is the most important factor in the means of production. This is human capital. There is also a tangible capital, which is money, and there is also an intangible capital, which is the human capital. And because human beings have different opinions, different perceptions, different viewpoints, it is diversified. So that's why there is a particular point of contact inside the organization who is the window to this employee, and that is the human resources management. And the primary function of the human resources management is to convert their employee to a human capital. What do you mean by that? The employees should be knowledgeable for them to be considered a human capital. Employees should be productive, efficient, and effective. Employees should understand the mission, vision of the organization. Employees should be motivated to deliver the results and the organizational goal of the company. Meaning to say, our employees should be aligned to our strategic mission and vision. So that is why there should be a human resources management that has to manage our employees. For them to be motivated, for them to be productive, for them to be efficient and effective. All right. So human resource management is really catering for the people, and they have several functions, major functions. Let us start with one of the major function of human resource. Let's start with strategy and planning. And these are the activities related to strategy and planning. When we say strategy and planning, okay, this is long term because of the word strategic. When we say strategic in, you know, immediately that is the timeline is long term. And we have different planning, no? We have strategic planning, we have uh, or we have tactical planning, and we have operational planning, no? So here we are considering the long-term strategic planning of human resources management. And here you can see that the basic role or function of strategic and planning is to identify and manage, okay, current and future needs in order to achieve organizational goals. So there is the current needs and there is a future needs. Like for example, 3 years from now, this company is going to expand. So therefore, human resource management has to integrate those expansion project of the company long term to its recruitment, training, and development of employees. Maybe another good example is that who are the rightful candidate who is going to be promoted in order to assume the roles of supervisory or managerial roles because of that growth. How many employees is going to be added to that expansion project. So these are strategic and planning, and the human resource management department has to align their function based on the strategic goals of the corporation. And the activities include analysis. It includes planning. It includes effectiveness. When we say effectiveness, it means to say that the human resource has a target goal, and they are going to check that effectiveness if the actual result is hitting the target. And once you are hitting the target, you are considered effective. If not, that is the opposite of effectiveness. You are ineffective. And there is also the different metrics or measurement on how to monitor and evaluate your progress based on your planning. And there is, of course, the intervention of technology, no? Like, for example, the Human Resource Information System. This is a database management wherein all of the profile, all of the data of the employees and future employees has to be integrated in this data management system. And that is basically one major function of the human resource management, strategic planning. Let's go to compliances. Let me just erase this one. Okay. Compliances is the second major function of the human resource management. And it deals with um, doing and the local and the national, you are compliant to the laws, regulation, and policies of the national and local government units. So, you must be compliant with the legal laws, with the environmental laws, political laws, economic laws. You must be compliant with the social laws. The Human Resource Department has to comply with all the rules, regulation, policy, and guidelines, or dictated by the government, national, and local. And the activities is, number one, when it comes to social factors, there should be an equal employment opportunity. Like for example, there is some environmental and sustainable programs of the corporation, like corporate social responsibility. They hire PWDs in their program for them to reach out for these disabled individuals. And there is also what you call, there is no discrimination as to terms of gender. No, there is an equal opportunity. Okay? So, let's take for example another compliance. When you are in a certain, let's say if you are in region 4A, region 4, region 5, you must see to it that the compensation you are giving to your employees is based on the mandate of the Department of Labor and Employment, based on that region, based on that locality. You cannot provide an NCR salary bracket on that region. If same is so, if you are inside NCR, you must comply with NCR wages, not with Region 4, not with Region 5, not with Region 6. And that is compliances. Like for example, in environmental compliances, you have to comply that it is only 8 hours of work. Beyond 8 hours, you should give your employees the overtime pay. There is also a compliance on the work and life balance. So you must comply with this. And that is the function of the Human Resource Department or Human Resource Management. Why? Why so many major functions? Because the objective is to align the function of human resource to the strategic mission and vision of the company, to support growth, profitability, and revenues, and to make the workforce knowledgeable, productive, and efficient. How? Through motivation and this type of programs that the human resource management is functioning. The next is about talent acquisition. We talk about recruitment. We talk about interview. We talk about selection. We talk about hiring. So this is the talent acquisition. And that is recruiting the appropriate candidate to that specific position. Because in recruitment, in attracting candidate for recruitment is very expensive on the part of the company. So therefore, there should be a talent management specifically assigned on that particular function to be able to recruit the right candidate for the right job. And in the interview activities, you have to really follow the metrics of different interview levels or hierarchy. There is a preliminary interview, and there is also the selection interview and the final interview. So every functional department has to be blended, coordinated, so that they could recruit the right talent for the right job. And the next is the training and development. Training and development, it is very important that you train people how to be productive, how to, for them to be aligned with the corporate mission and vision. You train them to be a knowledgeable workforce. Okay? You train them to be specialized in this kind of area of specialization. You train them for the succeeding level. Why? Because you want to motivate these employees through training and development. And the next is the performance management. What is this performance management? The activities is the appraisal, the empowerment, and the intervention. So when we say performance management, you should have a metrics on how you evaluate the performance of your employee. That productive employees should be rewarded. They should be appraised positively. And of course, those negative employees who have negative attitude towards work are given chance, they are coached, they are empowered so that they could align with the organizational goal. And that is performance management. And that is the fifth function of human resource management. And of course, the sixth is the total rewards. What is this? This is the financial, no, aspect of rewarding deserving employees. And the activities involved is compensation, benefits, recognition, and work-life balance. So these are very important for the employees so that they are going to be motivated. They are encouraged to work after, an 8 hour of sleep. They feel happy. They are not reluctant going to work. Why? Because they are fully charged, energized, and motivated working for this company. There are companies that, are being surveyed to employees, the most likely nice company to work with. No, there is a survey like that. And one way of motivating employees is to total rewards. No, you are uh, you are giving a standard industry salary for that particular position. It is not below and it is not too much above, but in the middle. Okay? And the next is um, safety and health. No? This is mandated by the Department of Labor and Employment, which is the basic occupational safety and health inside the organization. This protects the employees from hazards. So there is a function of human resource that they create, a safety and health officer, engineer in that particular dimension of the function of human resource. And the objective is to create a safety health committee wherein all the employees in all levels are encouraged to participate for the purpose of creating a safety and health workplace. Like for example, if you have so many employees, there should be a medical clinic, a registered nurse, and a medical practitioner that is working organically inside the company. So that way, if an employee does not feel well, he or she goes to the medical clinic to get medical attention. And all hazards are eliminated inside the company. There are mechanical hazards, electrical hazards, chemical hazards, environmental hazards that has to be addressed inside the company, and that keeps the employees motivated and encouraged to work in that particular company. And of course, the last is employee and labor relations. The purpose of this one is to have an employee and management harmonious relationship wherein the employees are given opportunities to voice out and air their grievances. They want to be heard. What are their hindrances? What are the barriers? So this department or function sees to it that they maintain a harmonious and positive relationship between management and labor. So these are very important functions of the human resources management. Again, the function of this one, the bottom line is to create the employee, convert them, transform them, process them to be a human capital. That is increase also, support also the corporate goal of increasing revenues, support the growth and expansion of the company, and maximize the shareholders' wealth. That is the strategic function of human resources management. Again, that ends my tutorial video for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next time in my tutorial video. Please, I request you to like, subscribe, and share the channel. Keep safe everyone, and thank you very much. I'll see you next time.